Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Seasons from Scratch, which we are doing on Felsbrunn. Now, in the last episode, I purchased this, which is the IMT 5360, and to be honest, two things have come up since last time. This does not work well with Courseplay. So I currently have Courseplay disabled on here because if you have Courseplay in this tractor in the game, it basically deletes your save. So I had to do a lot of work to get us back to where we were. And B, as several people pointed out in the comments, between this tractor and this tractor, we actually have enough to keep us going and to get us going on here. So, in the interest of the fact that this is 100,000, in fact, let's have a look at the garage. We can resell this back for 96,000. I think it's going to free up a lot of cash for us to do other stuff. So, yeah, first thing is, we hardly knew you 5360 IMT, but you're going to have to go back. We're going to return you. We'll get more than that. We'll probably get closer to the 109 we paid for it if we return it. So yeah, we'll drive it around. It's got no hours on the clock, as you can see, so we've not done any work with it at all. But it does muck up our game saves if we have Courseplay, and we could really do with Courseplay on here. And yeah, it's a bit of a it causes a lot of problems. So yeah, back this goes. Hopefully it can be fixed. And hopefully an update might get released for it eventually. Because it's a nice tractor and it would be really useful on here. And it's a lot of horsepower for not much money. But we can sell, wow, we can sell it for almost as much as we bought it. That is absolutely fantastic. So we will sell that. And there it goes. So we're back up to 112,000. That is really good. That's actually really, really helpful. What we need to do now, today, is plan our crop rotation. So we've got our seeder. We're going to get that working with our tractor here. So if we could have a look at the horsepower comparison of these two. But I think that we are actually okay as far as that goes. So we've got 240 horsepower here. The Vadestad requires 180, so we're easily enough. So this is the thing. We're not at this stage. We've got 3 fields. We are running at 15 times now, so each of these episodes should be an entire game day, just to keep things running rather nicely. But yeah, we only have a need to do this. So we're going to jump in this, and we're going to get going with this. Now, of course, one thing we don't have on this is we have not put we've not put any GPS on it. So we're running without GPS on here, but it should work fine. But before we get into this, and it's really maneuverable with this seeder, let's check out our crop rotation. So the crop rotation on Seasons, actually, let's just turn the engine off so that's not trundling along in the background. And let's go into the Seasons menu here. So if we look at the crop rotation, we can see what has previously been in our fields. So we'll take this field as an example first. Previous has been a legume, which I'm not actually sure exactly how that fits into our crop rotation. So if we look at, so legume is soybeans, in fact, just soybeans. So soybeans were in rotation 1. We want to see what is our best bet for rotation 2. So wheat, barley, oats, canola, sunflowers, corn. Basically anything grain-wise we want to put into here. So as we're kind of gonna go for something that doesn't drop straw, because we're not interested in straw at the moment. We'll put canola in here. Now, if we have a look at here, yeah, changing these does not change. Well, it does actually. It does change. Why it changes the previous one, I'm not quite sure, other than switching it back. But putting potatoes in here reduces the output of the previous one, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, so at the moment we are leaving this. We want to do something that's going to bring 120 in here. Oats would be pretty good, actually. I'd quite like to get horses. Having seen horses, what horses do on This Is Island, I think that's pretty good. We can then go wheat. We want something that is, again, going to be 1.2 off here. And actually, after oats, there's not much you can do. So, yeah, I think we're going to have to go with 1.8 for cotton. Wow. Or canola. So you can go... well, it's really weird. But it will reduce the one there. So, sunflowers, again. There's nothing really that produces a lot. So if we went fallow at that point, I don't know if that would do anything. But our first crop rotation, so we're going to put canola in here. Canola followed by oats, and then we will see where we go from there. So that is our first field rotation. So we want to switch over to oats. We've not quite got a full tank here, but this should be fine. Let's unfold our seeder. And again, we're not quite fully limed on here either. But this field did not need ploughing, thankfully. So line ourselves up. Now we could go and put GPS on here. It's a bit of an old tractor, but it would work, I think. Start it and down and away we go. So we want to be at 90 degrees. And there we go. So that is now doing quite nicely. It is struggling a little bit up the hill, but does seem to have the right pull. Wow, I think we do need to get the GPS on here. I think that is going to be a bit of a necessary requirement. But we are seeding here rather nicely. Seeding oats. Why are we seeding oats? Let's turn it off. We've got the wrong seed in here. We want canola. So we're going. We've wasted a little bit of seed here, but not much. We should be able to seed over the top. Not overly realistic seeding over the top. But until year 2, I don't want to be creating straw is the thing. So we'll see if we can reseed this. Hopefully we can. There we go. So back it up. Because this is a direct seeder, so it should do this. And away we go. Now it could mean that we have a little bit of oats in amongst our canola here, but we should be all right otherwise. Yeah, getting these articulated tractors straight is actually quite difficult. I'm finding. So this is why I'm umming and ahhing about a GPS, because that will make this job an awful lot easier. Keeping it on the 90 degrees and keeping it on track is actually quite difficult, but we do seem to be doing it at the moment. And there we go. So at the end of this first row here, we're just going to check quickly that we have got canola the whole way down this field now. So field 30, yeah, you can see a couple of patches of oats here, but otherwise we're all good. It has seeded over the top, got rid of the oats. So I'm going to get this field done. It is early spring, so we should be all right putting canola in now. It won't germinate yet, but it will work okay. We probably won't seed our other fields. I want to stagger things a little bit anyway. But canola seems to be pretty hardy when it comes to doing this in this temperature. So that's very good. And this is the other thing about running it at 15 times. I want to be able to just move forwards with this. We can slow it down if we need to, but for now we should be okay. halfway through the field, and the HTZ is having no problems with this. Not surprising, seeing as we have more than enough horsepower to handle this drill. But it is just running very nicely. I'm managing to keep it pretty straight. But I've been going over in my head exactly what we still need to get. Now, we are going to need a harvester at some point. But the thing we're really going to need, something that we're absolutely going to need moving forwards, is neither of our current tractors are really able to handle a sprayer. We could do some solid fertilizing with it, and in fact we will, because we have our fertilizer spreader, so we'll be doing some solid fertilizer spreading with that. But we are going to need a sprayer, because we're going to need something to spray the herbicide, and we're going to need something to properly spray fertilizer. When it gets more, we don't want to be using our solid spreader for that, because that will cause us problems. We'll destroy crops if we use either of these tractors with that, and it doesn't have the care wheels on it. So it's not going to be massively useful, our spreader, for that. So we are going to need a spray tractor as a result. So we're not going to spend too much on it. I want to keep that below 30,000 really, because our sprayer is going to cost a fair amount as well. If we could do both the sprayer and the tractor for about maybe 50,000, that would be good. I know the sprayer, the basic sprayer, the smallest sprayer, that is 30,000, I believe. So we will need a tractor at around about 20,000. There should be small tractors around that we can get for that kind of amount. Again, a little bit of age on them. Certainly looking towards the Eastern European and Russian side of things. I think we've got stuff from the Zeytav pack and the Polish pack. Actually, will probably do us pretty well for that. And it's a pack I've not used yet, so we might have a look at that. And considering the thumbnail on here was too many tractors, that is quite something. That we're going from 3 and we're down to 2, and we're back to 3 again. So almost finished up the field. Got this row and one more to do, and that will complete the sowing of our canola. Now my hope is that while it's not going to germinate overnight here, it should germinate by the end of day 3. I think things are warming up. Let's have a look. Weather-wise, things are warming up. We're going into Wednesday, going into day 3. It's going to be much warmer. There is some. It is a bit cold. There might be some frost. So, but this is fairly hardy. Sowing this in the ground is fairly hardy. The ground isn't frozen at the moment, so with any luck, it won't have an issue. And we've not got a problem with drought or anything, so it should be all good. We should manage to get a decent crop off this field, I hope. That's fingers crossed that the germination goes well, and that we don't have too many patches in the field that don't germinate. As I said, I'm going to hold off doing our other drilling probably till at least day 3 or day 4, once things warm up a little bit, which means we need to find something to do next time. There we go. So that is that done. Now what I want to do at this point is I'm going to give this a fertilize. So we're going to empty out our trailer, or our solid fertilizer spreader. And a couple of people have asked, oh, what are you going to do with the fertilizer spreader? You've hired it. Are you going to return it? You need to take the lime out of it before you return it. Plan is not to return it at the moment. We're looking at having this on a long-term lease. It's not overly expensive. There's a tiny bit of lime left in the bottom of it. So we'll just unload that over on the side here. Hopefully not in front of our ripper. Reversing stuff with these articulated tracks is actually very nice. Right, so unload that line. It's unloaded it right over there, which is a weird thing for it to do. And then we're going to do this. We don't need to fill this right up. We actually don't need a huge amount of fertilizer, although we will spread it across all of our fields. So actually, no, I am. I'm going to fill this right up. We don't want lime. We want solid fertilizer. There we go. It's going to be a fairly... Wow, that is a pretty expensive amount. 24,000. We may not actually use all that, I think. But it will be here for what we can do, actually, is we can go and make some money by going and fertilizing a couple of contracts, maybe. But yeah, so this is, yeah, that actually would offset the cost of, A, buying all this fertilizer, because we're not going to use all this, and B, having the hire of this to do this job. It's going to cover this pretty quickly, and doing that means that we'll it won't cost us quite so much to get this job done. There we go. One more row maybe to go. Yes, yeah, we can get this in one width. Fantastic. So we don't have to go and do a half row or anything. We actually can catch it. There's only 3 up and down, and we got 97%. So yeah, we massively overfilled this. We didn't need as much as we have. We can actually, we might get away with not having to have a fertilizer spreader. Oh, we're gonna have to. Oh no, we were okay. Not having to have a sprayer to do fertilizer. If we can keep the weeds off. That's the thing that worries me, because weeds grow in patches. The chances are we are going to get weeds as we go along. So I'm slightly worried that if I use a weeder and get rid of the weeds that way, I'm going to end up with an issue. So yeah, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But that's covered that as well. I'm half tempted to go and see if we can find a mission that does this. What else? Let's check on our chickens as well, because that is the other thing we need to do. So actually chickens are pretty happy. They've got a decent amount of wheat and barley. We don't have that many though. I think we might see if we can add a few more. Now, somebody has suggested that I get the animal extension mod. I think I might have mentioned this last episode. I think it would be a great thing to have. Certainly, if I jump out of here and we head over, we have got... I think if we have a look at the pen, we actually can't see any extra. We do have some eggs going into the cage. I'm not quite sure why this egg box won't go in there. The press is here. Yeah, it doesn't tell me how many we have, which is slightly annoying. But we are producing eggs at a good rate by the looks of things. So that is all good. And I'm liking this. I think we will add some more. I have no idea how many there are. Let's head down to the bottom. There we go. New, yeah. Just keep adding them as much as we can until it says, I can't take any more. Would be good. So, 177 new livestock. Let's add some more. It's yeah, trying to work it out is a bit difficult. I would like something really that tells me, and it's the good thing about chickens is that you can just add lots and lots and lots. Oh, I am moving the wrong ones. Let's move these. That's good, because that was going the wrong way then. I'm going to add another £2,000 worth, I think. See if it will take that many. Let's add another 1,000 actually. See if it'll take that many. Right, and because they're only £5 each, and I want to produce as many eggs as quickly as possible. And these are the egg producers. They require less feed as well, which is good. There we go, almost there, and there we go. Confirm that. So yeah, a lot more in here. We will get the animal extension mod next time, I think. It will add water to the chickens, but at the same time, it will give us a good idea of how many we actually have. Right, the other thing we need to do is we need to jump into our little MB track here, go up to our other fields and see what they previously are. And then we will be able to set our crop rotation accordingly. I'll put field 18 first. So it tells you the last 3, I believe. Well, previous is fallow, so that's actually quite useful for us here. So if we have a look, again, if we have a look at our crop rotation, we want to start with fallow. Pretty much everything is 1.08 from fallow. So in here, I think we want to probably try and put some soybeans. Now, interestingly, I want canola in there, yeah. So canola in there. So soybeans in there. And then I think, again, we will probably try and put... Now, I think I've worked out why this number changes. Because if you go fallow, it resets from the beginning. So if you fill this whole thing in, then you begin to see what you can do. Which is why I'm going, okay, so what we can do is put sunflowers in here. And you can then see the effects that this all has the whole way through. So we want to find something that really is 1.2 here if we can. But there isn't really anything after oats. Cotton does 1.8. Canola does 1.8. Sunflowers does 1.8. And then that's the thing. We probably want to go, I think, for... See, you go... Yeah, that's the tough one. If you go fallow from here, you can then go... And pretty much anything after that. And go 1.2. But it's sugar beet then goes 1.2. But we're only really worried about what we had previously to canola and to oats. So we're going to worry about the first 3 years first. So soybeans, corn, pretty much everything fallow at this point creates stuff. So we're going to go soybeans. I think we can plant soybeans. I'm going from soybeans to I think sunflowers. Yeah. And then what we want to make sure is that going round our loop. Yeah, if you go fallow again at this point, you do get a 1.2. So, yeah, we want to go soybeans, sunflowers, I think, on here. So that will be good. And I realise at this point I am rambling just a little bit. So our final field we're looking at today, and the previous here is fallow as well. So, yeah. Pretty much anything after fallow is good. So again, if we're looking for something that doesn't do... we want something that we can get with a standard harvester. Everything is 0.8. So what we want to do is, I think we probably want to go wheat on here. We'll have to bale it. Whatever you go on here is gonna do that. So, yeah, if we go wheat or anything else, we can go, yeah, soybeans or, yeah, so we'll just go wheat. We'll put wheat in on here. And that will then do a 1.2, and that will work nicely. So, there we go. That is going to be our setup for our crop rotation. We need to go through and fill the whole thing in, really, to give ourselves a good idea. But for now, I'm quite happy with that. Let's see if we can maximise the crops that we get out. So I've come back down to our farm for the last thing I want to do today. And that is, we need somewhere really to base ourselves and to start off each time. And the best bet for that, I think, is going to be for us to put the tent in for now. It's fairly inexpensive. As you can see, we've got the choice of the farm tent, the farmhouse, that farmhouse, or the big one. I kind of want to go with this. I think that this will work well for us. We have got this on our Start From Scratch series. And it's just finding somewhere where we are able to place it. I would say if we can place it somewhere on the hillside here. Ooh, there I think is a perfect place for us to place this. So, what we'll do is we will lower it right down. Right down is a bit deep. So we'll go about there-ish, I think. Don't own this land. We own this land, though. And yeah, we'll put it right down. And there we go. We have got, currently, our cedar parked in it. So we'll move that out of the way, because we don't really want that there. We got the campfire and everything out the back. So this is actually the entrance to it. It's facing away from our farm, but that's all right. We even got our own portally. So yeah, this is the back of it, but that's all good. Let's move our equipment out of the way, and our farm is beginning to take shape as a result. Won't connect up to that and pull it forwards and out of the way. There we go. And it's at this stage, this is the thing, it does early stages of seasons, always slow, and then you get really manic over the summer. A little bit like real farming is the thing. Very much like real farming. But we've pretty much covered everything that we need to cover today. I'm quite pleased with this. We will look at the possibility of a tractor. This door does have a strange reaction. Yeah. There's something that it doesn't like. Look at that. I can't close this door. So I don't know what's causing that. Could be. Disconnect that. And I can shut it. That's a bit weird, that is. So there we go. That is us done for today. I'm really happy with that. That has worked out well. We're back down to 2 tractors, but we will look at another tractor in the near future, because we are going to need to do some spraying at some point. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.